Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we will be reviewing the Finca Nuguo mixed processed Panama Gesha from Black and White Coffee. And there's the bag right there. Alright, let's talk a little bit about Black and White. So they're based out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, and I do have a couple of videos of them on this channel already, including one where I visit their flagship store out in North Carolina, which was an amazing experience. They are probably one of my favorite coffee roasters in the United States. And in my opinion, the most wild coffee roaster in the United States. I have that washed Ethiopia video upcoming shortly, and that's the most wild cup of coffee I've had this year to date, so I look forward to that one. But just a little bit more specifically about this coffee. I believe I purchased the last of it because after I purchased it, it was no longer on their website, and I wanted to look up some more information to kind of give you a little bit more details about this coffee. It sounds like the mixed processing is you have part washed, part honey processed, and being a bit of a more luxurious coffee, this was only 100 grams of coffee, so I was only able to make myself about 5 pour-overs from it. So it started from day 17, and this right here is day 15, and I wish I could have maybe extended it out a little longer and tried it on some later days, see if it was any better. But I think I was pretty happy with the results I got from just the 5 samples I had. And of course the details of this coffee, so they have it listed on their bag that this is a light roast, and it's definitely lighter than most American coffees you have. Still a little darker than those Nordic coffees, but this is an American light roast right here. And the recipe I liked the best was my standard recipe, 204 degrees Fahrenheit at 16.67 to 1 water to coffee ratio. I did play around with it a little bit, but again, it's not surprising. I really enjoy the taste when the coffee is at a higher temperature. I find it best that way. But let's go ahead and start talking about the coffee itself. So day 7, I like to push those limits. Definitely not ready to be drank yet. Kind of had that hollow taste you get from coffee when it's not quite ready to brew yet. Day 9 and day 11 are probably the 2 days I did enjoy this coffee the most. Florals and citrus fruit were the most abundant at these days. A pretty soft cup of coffee and very enjoyable. And then day 11, as you let it cool down, this coffee, unsurprisingly, is significantly better the more it's cooled down. You get a lot more of those citrus fruit flavors, and yeah, the lime became the more prominent thing as this coffee aged. It's actually really nice on day 15 right here. I think I enjoyed this more than maybe I did on day 9 and day 11, and definitely on day 13. The last time I tried this coffee, when I made the tasting wheel, super lime forward, very lively mouthfeel, and the orange and florals were a little bit more subtle. But I think as I'm kind of relaxing and just enjoying this coffee for what it is, I get a lot of what I consider orange blossom, this great orange and floral components to it. Really pleasant cup of coffee. No surprise, given that it's my type and style of coffee. Let me go ahead and put up the tasting wheel right now so you can see what I was getting. And as I'm looking at this tasting wheel, it's kind of interesting to me because the citrus fruit is at a level 5, and I think it's a combination of things. The lime on day 13 when I made this tasting wheel was super forward and super abundant, as well as the really nice orange. And I think if I was doing this wheel today, I would probably put it at a 4 because it's not as lime forward, but the orange is really beautiful in this today. Sweetness 4, that's perfect. Florals pretty high, again, that's perfect for today. Clean, I'm happy with the 4. It could be a 3 as well. The finish, definitely happy with it as a 3. But I always like to say with these coffees, with these geshas, you can see that the wheel typically tends to be skewed a lot. So you'll get some really high marks for certain categories like citrus fruit and cleanliness, while really low categories for stuff like bitterness, smokiness, caramel, chocolate, all those sort of things. I mean, they're at a level 1, so they're hardly there, if they're there at all. I think the big question when it comes to a lot of these more luxurious coffees is how much I enjoyed it, and I actually really enjoyed this one. It's not as amazing as so many of these other Panamas I've had, but it's one of those luxurious items that is such a treat for yourself to have on your shelf at any time. And I've heard a lot that these coffees are a little trickier to figure out, and that's definitely true. I feel like when it comes to who I might suggest this coffee to, it's definitely a specific type of person, that type of person that does enjoy those more delicate geishas that can work through the kind of more difficult periods. I had just a tiny bit of difficulty dialing this in, but once you get it right, it's that absolute beauty and gem that you're always looking for from a Panamanian Gesha coffee. And of course I'm smiling. This was one of the best coffees I've had this year already, and Black and White didn't let me down, neither did this coffee. So massive props to Black and White again for producing another amazing coffee. But I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts on Black and White if you've tried them before, especially if you've tried this coffee. If you are enjoying the content, give this video a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But this right here has been a review of the Finca Nuguo mixed processed Panama Gesha from Black and White. Thank you for watching.